Hey guys, welcome back. It's Lucid, and we are waiting for the monkeys to do their turn. And figure might as well record this one. So, yeah, we were hoping to maybe bait Arco into attacking us last turn, and he didn't. I really thought he was going to go on the offensive. He also didn't attack vaettiheim, which was the other option. We also, and God, I can't even remember now. I don't think I talked about it when we were recording, or if I did, it was a supplementary episode or something. But we thought for a hot minute that vaettiheim, because he has all the thrones in this corridor right here, this vertical. We thought him getting this one was actually the fifth one, because Alm sent me a screenshot and he was zoomed out so much that we counted 4 thrones, and that's because we were zooming out and you could see the same throne twice. Like the dumbest mistake to make, but we thought they had 5 thrones, so we kind of went through this whole red alert thing. I was like ready to make peace with Arco, and I messaged him and he was like, I'll think about it. Anyway, we went through this whole thing, and then we realized, okay, fuck, he only has 4 thrones, so maybe we jumped the gun. Ask T and Chi what they think, because I'm gonna go whichever way T and Chi does. But I was still game. If Arco wanted to go on vaettiheim, I was game to allow that. And but T and Chi was like, no, let's kill him. So I said, okay, I'm game. Let's finish this. Let's do the dirty deed. Yeah, so we're going to be doing that. We're going to be going after T and Chi. I mean, we're going to be finishing off Arco. If we suffer a major reversal, I am not opposed to going back to original boundaries. If I do, it means I'm probably going to come kill the monkeys for reasons we're going to talk about later. But basically, this turn, so we put up Pyre and a bunch of other stuff that doesn't matter. Here we actually bounce with 2 horrors on, and they're actually pretty good horrors. They bounce here. Watch this, because these guys each had 3 gems. Oh, this guy had 4, and this guy had 2. So in total, it's 7 and then 9. So 9 gems for him to defend this province. I'll do these trades all day. And we got kind of close to taking it. These fire elementals hurt, though. And we just barely managed to kill this one, but then by that point, our dudes are dead. So, didn't quite work. It was an expensive hold for him, 9 gems. But, you know, probably worth it. You got to defend with something. I don't think there's too much to watch here for fights. He bumps us. This is where we moved in our army to fight his if he chose to attack, but he didn't. He did not. And we've got our Skelly Spam Communion. Anyway. We can see Patala moving back in over here to take this stuff from Midgard, and like that. Also, for events, we got this one, which sucks. We got 4 nature gems, though. So, like that, Midgard, all of a sudden, you can't even find a Midgard flag. There's one over here, and then this fort's under siege, and all this stuff's sieged. We also took this fort, too. We'll watch this battle real quick. There's nothing really to see, but... And they've routed, so I don't even think we had much friendly fire. Yeah, always a risk in fort sieges, but yeah, we've taken this fort now. It's a nice place. Yeah, we need to build a temple here, so we've got somebody moving. But the meat and potatoes of this turn really is that Isitaris has organized, or is organizing, a Dispel of Pyre. The fun things about being I mean, some of this would happen anyway, but this is definitely like the same way we're going after Arco because it's Arco playing. There's an abnormal amount of attention put on taking down Pyre because I'm playing, I think. Normally, I mean, maybe if Bogarus got it up really early, but I think at turn 37, like maybe somebody would fight them for it, like they would try to overcast it, but I don't think people would dispel it. I mean, that is a little intense. Like most people at this time are trying to get their own things up. And they have no idea how much I put in it. So, you know, that's why people don't normally want to dispel stuff. Though we'll see. Anyway, I don't know how much people are willing to contribute, but, you know, potentially it's a good thing for me if they somehow don't put enough to dispel it. Though, anyway. Yeah, I mean, I guess we can talk about how much we put into it, because this video won't be going up until probably the game's done. But I think I do a kind of random amount. Sometimes I put the minimum when I cast a global. Sometimes I try to bank up like 300 or 400 when people don't expect it. Sometimes I do like a little bit overcast, and sometimes I do a moderate overcast. And this would be a moderate overcast. So we put in 230 fire gems when we cast it. If you subtract out the cost of Eternal Pyre, which is 80, we're left with an overcast of 150. For them to overcast Pyre, for them to dispel Pyre, they basically are, depending on the astral of the caster, we'll just assume they only have an astral 5. They would need to put in 180 to have a 50-50 chance at taking it out. I don't think they would do that. I think I told Grippa the odds are like 1%. I think the odds are higher than that. There's a real chance they get 200 pearls, which would put them over the threshold. I think it's unlikely. Like, I wouldn't want to cough up 60 pearls to dispel Pyre. Rather, I'd want to have my own global. The thing in this whole, and this is why I was talking about maybe I peace out with Arco, but then maybe I would go after the monkeys or something, is the monkeys are going to try, we've been talking about it, but the monkeys are going to try to control Pyre. I know they've found a lot of fire sites. They're going to try to control Pyre, and fuck that. If I'm going to fight the monkeys over Pyre, there's a chance I come over here and kill them. But it's a good player. It will be an interesting combat, but I think we'll win. But he's certainly very happy for everybody. He'll be like, yeah, sure, I'll throw in my 30 pearls or whatever, and then have everybody else throw in 30 pearls. And then if the dispel works, they would be like, yay, great, we took it down. And then the next turn, monkeys would be like, Pyre's up. I sent a message to Omniscience where I kind of explained my thought process on this. So we're also really hand-wringing about putting up Pyre, and for good reason. Apparently, folks are organized to dispel. I'm a little surprised because most of the time people let Jim Jin Globals go at turn 40 instead want to get their own things up. What's interesting is that they're going for a dispel play, and I'm like 99% sure the monkeys want to control Pyre themselves. So the monkeys are very happy for everyone else to throw away some pearls, and then they put it up. In a vacuum, I'd probably just like to kill the monkeys for this kind of fuckery, but things are not in a vacuum, and that would probably be a bad move. If Pyre goes down, I'll just accept making the birds the old-fashioned way. Grippa was saying, and this is where I get into some of the logic for, we probably will let it go, but I'm not sure. Grippa was saying, we start banking fire gems for a recast of Pyre. I think this is a losing move for 2 reasons. The first is that Firebirds are not game-winning in and of themselves. Like, oh, I have a lot of Firebirds. It's not like you win. They are a tool to basically generate long-term economy, and they're slow to pay back. So we need actually a pretty long time for the Firebirds to start like making us a profit. Like if we put up a lot of, we have 500 Firebirds that we made in the past 10 turns, and it's turn 90. Like that actually is not a good thing, because they're not going to pay back the 1,000 fire gems we put into them, So we actually need to get the Firebirds out kind of early for them to be a good thing. Them being out late, not a very great thing. Because think how many Flames from the Skies that would have been. You know, that could be way more game winning than some number of Firebirds. So if we start saving for Pyre, we'll be starting with a lot lower fire than we would if we didn't cast Pyre. I didn't want to say exactly that we'd be at 0, which we are this turn. While the monkeys have been banking fire gems, with all this saving, when are we actually going to start making Firebirds that take so long to pay back? I think when we cast it, we basically made our play, and if that doesn't work out, I'm not sure it's worth controlling. All that said, Bogarus has basically 3 tools in the late game: Great Human Mages, Blood, and Firebirds. Might have to focus more on number 2. How do we win with Bogarus if we can't control Pyre? And we're not going to be making that many fire incomes because our fire site searching wasn't really great. Our fire income is okay, but a lot of it was actually from the throne. But, you know, how are we going to win? That was one of our paths to kind of victory, is, you know, pedaling up a little bit more economy. You know, how could this work out? Well, I think we basically have to become like a blood superpower if we can't control Pyre. So we need to be then... there's going to be a lot of really good provinces we're going to have to burn to the ground. It's going to be a little hurtful because I really like gold. And I might have to... Once we get that going and we get all those blood slaves, we're going to need to invest those blood slaves in killing people and taking their land and getting more blood slaves from their land. So I think if we can't control Pyre, we're going to have to play a lot more aggressively. And there's a very good chance that that aggression is going to be focused on the monkeys. Now, that said, I mean, so far it's these guys dispelling and the monkeys dispelling in Vaettiheim. I have to be careful. Actually, controlling the monkeys is kind of fine because they already own all the thrones here. I just have to keep these guys from getting thrones in this column. But yeah, I think these guys are a stronger player than the monkeys by a margin. So we'll see. I don't know. I mean, these are the real people to beat this game if we can manage to take care of Arco. So anyway. That is the musings of a slightly wild man. And there's also the option I changed my mind and decided to fight the monkeys tooth and nail for Pyre, which would probably also include trying to kill them. Anyway. So what does all this mean? Well, we're not piecing out with Arco, which for a hot minute I was pretty sure we were going to do. He gave fair terms like return to original borders, which I was like, yeah, okay. I mean, it's not great for us. We have to give up like 1,000 gold of income and a lot of gems per turn. But for him to go fight Vaettiheim, that would probably be worth it. So I don't know. I'm still not opposed to that exactly. But I would rather we kill him. And especially, so Tianchi has Wailing Winds, and they use that to win some fight over here, which we probably should actually move this scout over this way. But they used that to win some fight over here. So anyway, it'll be interesting to see what all happens on this fort. I think the big army is right here, actually. Because he won the fight but didn't kill a ton of stuff because it all ran. But I don't think he lost much either. So anyway, we'll see what happens. He also has his god in play. I think if Tianchi can take the cap, then I can swoop in and maybe kill this. I'm really hoping he spends this fighting Vaettiheim. I don't want to find it. What I think he's probably going to do is I've moved this army out, and it looks like I'm being very aggressive. Like, his army was here and I move here. So it looks like I'm trying to fight him, right? And if I'm trying to fight him and I don't want to walk through, you know, a disease-spreading wasteland, then I'm probably going to march this way to go to this fort, not march this way. So it looks like I'm heading up this way to fight him. I've brought a huge mage commitment, you know, over 20 mages, which I don't want to have leave a lab if I can help it. It looks like I'm probably going to go here. I think what he's going to do is he's going to magic phase Jim burn me and then move the army here to fight me. And by the way, he could see from this that I don't really have gym bait extra gyms on. I would kind of get wrecked by that. And by the way, I do need to turn this off. Summon Earth Power. I think we're gonna do. Well, actually, I think this guy. I think I'm actually gonna give this guy this Soul Slay script. Just have them jump in the communion too and start zapping the shit out of people trying to magic phase Jim Burnus. It could be. TNG reported that they got attacked by lesser horrors last turn. Now, I mean, as you can see, it wasn't me. We only did one lesser horror attack. I mean, first of all, I'm not the kind of person to fuck with somebody who in every way has shown they want to be my ally. And I would love to have TNG as a long-term partner. So first of all, I would never do it. But what it does mean is that somebody is doing it. And either Arco has empowered himself in blood and he's doing it, or what I think is more likely is Vaettiheim is doing it. And Vaettiheim probably has a nap with him too. But he was able to gym bait some of TNG's armies. So either we get hit with horrors, which I don't think will gym bait this, not one casting of lesser horror, or he sends in something and then does an all-in play here. Which we'll be able to see because we're moving a scout here and we're hitting this with the horror. We're hitting this with the horror. We're hitting this with the horror. So we'll at least see what's in each of these provinces as we come over here to invade. But we're pulling these guys back. I don't want to... He's got fog warriors and shit. This is a much bigger army than before. Fight him on PD when he gets to gym burn me. I don't know how I feel about that. I hadn't really been planning to take a bunch of their infrastructure in this war. As I was saying from the beginning, I thought Vaettiheim was going to do it. And I'm actually fine if Vaettiheim wanted to contribute to actually kill this army and take this fort. I would be okay with that, even now after he's kind of betrayed us. He can't get this throne, though. That would not be cool. We got to see all the sites here, by the way, this turn. Great Gold Mine, Academy of War, Stone Circle on the Iron Throne. It's a pretty valuable province. By the way, I sent Ulm a crystal cap last turn and they forgot to send me money, so hopefully they do that. So we're hitting this with one set of horrors, which will probably be enough to gym bait, and then we're sending all of these guys in to take this. There's a fair amount of money, like 800 gold. I mean, honestly, guys, this is a lower... This is gonna, like, if this whole thing gets wiped, I don't really care. It's going to feel like a lot because you're going to see a lot of troops die, but it's a lot of getting rid of a lot of expensive upkeep. And a lot of it, like these archers, I don't really care about. If I lost a thug with 20 gems, you'd be like, oh no, that's too bad. But like, that's the cost of raiding. But if I lose 800 gold, you're like, oh my God, it's a big deal. It's not a big deal. This is actually pretty low commitment. This is fine. But I think combined with the horror attack, there's a pretty good chance this works. And there's a nice gem site here. So if it works, we'll get some gems. But yeah, so this army's moving back. We're scripting it to kill gem burners because I'm pretty sure we're going to get hit either by horrors or by like a god or something. So anyway, we're going to come back over here. And we'll probably have them research, honestly. And we probably need to worry a little bit about a golem too. I'm going to put this guy on advance and cast spells. Because we could get a little yoinked by a golem. It's a little dangerous having this many mages sitting out in the open. Do I have... It would kind of be good to maybe do an air element. I don't think we're quite in golem territory yet, because he has fog warriors, his mages are fighting. He can't research construction 7. But soon we'll be in golem territory, maybe. Okay. So anyway, that's basically it. We're doing medium rating. I don't want to call it light rating. Also... You know, I was thinking he would potentially move an army over here to fight me, but he instead moved this army up here to fight TNG. And I had tried to hit this to block the 2 province phase movement. That was this attack. We talked about it. It didn't end up working. I wanted to do 3 horrors, which probably actually would have taken this rather than 2. But God, I can't remember exactly what it was. I think I wanted to forge something instead, and I was like, okay, fine. We're gonna not do 3. We'll do 2, because I really needed some other mage to do something important. I think it was actually cast Eternal Pyre is what it was. So we'll see. If we keep Eternal Pyre, hopefully we can keep diplomacy good. I've sent... The way I'm trying to handle diplomacy for this is, I think, a very reasonable way. I've told Tianchi I will gladly trade them any kind of gem for them to control one of the Jin globals, and I've told Patala I will try to I'll trade them any gem for them to control one of them. Now, I know Patala, he hasn't told me, but I know he wants to control Pyre. But maybe he can not fight me for it and not get his panties in a wad and just accept controlling, like, Earthblood Deepwell or something. The other thing is, if I control Earthblood Deepwell, and once I have Wish, which is not very long from now, gem types become interchangeable, except for pearls. So then I could turn all of my Earth gems with my Wish caster basically into... No, I'd rather not do that. But I could turn them all into fire gems. So, anyway. But people have probably been noticing we've been saving up gems for a while. Not really so much anymore. We have some site searching to finish, particularly with water. We've got a lot of water to do. We've still got some earth to do. We're doing a bit of no more this turn, actually. And we're doing a couple Voice of Apsus, and we're doing 1 Haru Specs. So we're going to clean up our site searching game just a tiny bit. All these are targeted. I'm making sure we don't target anything that already has 1 in it, and I'm trying to target good terrain. I don't know. We're doing it like a little sweaty try hard. We don't have them on autocast. We're also trying to upgrade a lot of these forts. I want to make this, especially with all this Kalem siege garbage here, I want to go ahead and make this a citadel if I can. It's only 750 wall strength, and birds can crack that reasonably easy, but hopefully it won't be 1 turn popped. So we're busy upgrading this. I want to also upgrade this fort too. It's a really high population province, so that will be good to do. We haven't started it yet, though. We're getting another imp here who will hopefully be able to help. This fort too, we're upgrading to a citadel. I'll probably have the Shadow Imp take over control of that. We've also got blood hunters moving over here. This, like I said, was going to be our 3rd blood hunting province. And this will probably be our 4th. But this one we might need to wait a little bit for some of the heat from the Arco War to die down one way or another. Either we peace out or what have you. So yeah. Then I think, yeah, so we're upgrading this also. We're basically doing a lot of infrastructure upgrades. I don't want my forts to be able to, just be casually popped all over the place. We're also pretty much winning in the fort score graph by a pretty good margin compared to other people right now. We've done a lot of forting up, which is going to mean our research as we turn these forts into mage producing centers is also going to ramp up some. Yeah. But anyway, things look like they're going kind of okay so far. The other thing too, and this is, I probably should have led with this part. Look at all this, guys. Look at all these Firebird casters. That is a lot of Firebirds. We had 30-something Fire Gems. We're also casting it here a couple times. Oh, I need to talk about this. So, if you count it, we're doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And like I said, we're going to be casting Firebirds with however many Fire Gems we have, I think, from now on, come what may. If we can't control Pyre, fine. Once we get Wish going, we may decide to make another shot at Eternal Pyre if the monkeys take it. But that will probably be done in conjunction with killing the monkeys. Which I'm pretty sure we can manage. pretty sure we can mention. The only bad thing about fighting the monkeys is they can magic duel us. I might try to get the life after death artifact, and then I don't have to worry very much about magic duel. Yeah, but we're getting, wait, in total 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 12 castings of Firebirds here, and I think 3 here. And, you know, very quickly we can get 100 Firebirds here within a few turns. You know, like 6 or 7 turns. Or 7 or 8 turns probably. And then we'll start to accumulate them here too. Now the reason for both of these, first of all, this is almost a cap in terms of income. But the other reason, and this is really cool, is Steel Ovens. And this has an event, a good event, which can happen multiple times, which will give you a Mastersmith. And then once you have a Mastersmith, there's another event which can proc, which will give you a pretty high level item, like a Construction 4 or 6 item. So, I mean, that seems pretty good to me. Getting a Mastersmith is like 2 gems per turn. So this is going to be an excellent site to stack with Firebirds. The only problem about stacking them here is people can see them, like Calum can see them. So I'll probably need to do some kind of obfuscation, like probably put an army here with troops and stuff to hide it, or summon Long Dead to obfuscate how many Firebirds there are. So we'll see. Or maybe I do a false army item, but I'm not sure. Anyway, we're building castle here. And I don't think we're upgrading any of our other forts. I mean, we're upgrading this one, but I don't think we're doing any other ones to citadels quite yet. I might do some of these. I think this one I'll probably make a citadel. I can't find a goddamn site here, though. It kind of sucks. I guess it's a farmland, so it doesn't have a very high site percentage. We're talking in Discord about how these stack, and I think the way they stack, there's a list, and for all the terrain ones, it takes the top one at the list, and farmland's right at the top. So I think even though it's a mountain, which gives more sites, and a farmland, which gives fewer, I think it just gives fewer sites for the terrain bonus. But then that should be counteracted by the throne effect. So anyway, so far we haven't had any luck with sites here, and we've searched it for all the elemental paths and all the sorcery paths, some, except for blood. So it's probably not meant to be. Are we recruiting? Yeah, we're getting mages here too. So that'll be good to start filling up the mage reservoir in this portion of my empire. And we're blood hunting here, but nobody's patrolling. I can't remember who's coming here. This guy's coming. I think we're getting a Samargal here too. I think actually this guy's going to patrol, and I think we'll have this guy make a Shadow Imp, and the Shadow Imp will take over next turn building the fort, and he can get back to patrolling. We'll probably also set this up as a blood hunting place. And actually these guys, yeah, they'll patrol for now, I think. After that, I probably will move some of them over here. Like maybe I swap and bring the Samargals over here and move the army here. That way the army will obfuscate any Firebirds. Just by cluttering the army report, and it'll just say there's a few Firebirds. So, yeah, I think that's it for now. But, I mean, so far, diplomacy's gone pretty well this game. We have been on the right side of any kind of 2v1. And, I mean, Arco, who's kind of in a 2v1, it's really a 3v1. It's really, and like, almost peaced out. I told him to peace out. Almost helping. First of all, there's not really much of a border for him to go after. And I was like, dude, he got absolutely shattered. We went and looked at the battle together. He didn't show me the rest of his turn, but we just went and looked at the battle. And yeah, he got crushed. And after losing that much stuff, I was like, yeah, you're not going to help here. You need to prepare and strengthen up and get ready for vaettiheim. So, we'll see. We'll see. You know, I'm actually thinking about too, if I do have to get into a war with the monkeys, we could potentially Black Death a bunch of their stuff here that I don't even want, because I think if I got this much, like, this would be too much spoils for me to get. So I could, well, no, it's probably not good. The monkeys will then return. All those things, you have to be really careful doing the salt the earth shit, especially unprovoked. Because people will salt the earth right back at you. So we probably won't do that, but I don't know. I'm thinking these people conspiring to take down Pyre. I'm not very happy about it. But it's a reasonable play. I mean, Pyre is really good on Bogarus. I mean, if that's the worst diplomacy we have to deal with, that's probably... I can't complain too much. Yeah, these are the blood hunters that are marching off over here. And the blood hunt patrollers. So I think that's it, guys. We've got the cool thing. We're starting up, come what may, Firebirds. We're going to just be making them. Either we're going to be making, 10 gems of Firebirds a turn or 30. But we're going to be making Firebirds from here on out. There's no point saving. I'm not going to plan on this game going to like turn 160 and being like, oh, we should control Pyre with this 400 overcast so that eventually after 1,000 turns it will pay off. No, thank you, sir. We did our best job at trying to control it, and if we can't do it, that's fine. Like in another game, Bogarus put it up at like turn 14 or something stupid. That's what TNG was telling me. They're in a game with Bogarus right now, and they put it up at turn something absurdly early. And it's like, holy shit. I mean, how do you get the gems? Anyway, but now I think they were going to knife him in that game. So in my opinion, you don't want to control it too early because you kind of put a target on your back. But putting up a gem gen global now at turn 37 is not that big of a deal. Well, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And then I'm hoping I can just help other people up to my power level rather than have other people freak out that my power level is too high. Like, other people, y'all come up here and join me, bros. Don't sit there as a poor motherfucker and hate. Y'all come up and get rich with me. But we'll see. The other nice thing about people coming up is it just increases our chances of winning. Like, pooling to dispel is great, but, the people who win are the people who don't pool. So, like, Kalem doesn't pool. He gets closer to everybody else. Whereas if, like, I help TNG and the monkeys, because we're friendly and we don't want vaettiheim to throne rush, I help them get their own globals. Well, they're about, their percent chance to win is pretty good because they've got a plus 20 gem gen global. And, vaettiheim, who didn't get any of those because those are kind of hard paths for them, they're not so good. And that's good because that's going to improve our chances of winning and maybe decrease his a bit, which is something I'm a little worried about. So I don't know. I hope people choose that path instead of trying to dispel. And it's possible that they do both, that they try to dispel, and if it doesn't work, then they can choose the path of righteousness. I think, though, I don't know. We'll have to see. Maybe I control Earthblood Depot or something if this doesn't work out. We'll start saving up Earth Gems. Speaking of saving Earth Gems, we're making some Earth Boots this turn, just so we'll need it later if we're going to control it anyway, but... we need to think about what we want to do with our god, too. She's kind of not terribly useful right now. She'll become more useful once we get Will of Fates, if I want to do turn 1 Will of Fates for whatever reason. She's also obviously going to be super useful once we get High Thaumaturgy for Master and Slave. But probably mostly she's just going to be wish farming. She could make a Rune Smasher, maybe. That wouldn't be a horrible idea. Go ahead and get one of those. I mean, we're not really very close to Mind Hunting. We need to get Evo 6. Which has Wailing Winds. There's a lot of reasons for us to go Evo 6. I am not opposed to that idea at all. But... anyway, I'd like to make the run all the way up to Alt 9 now if we can. I guess we'll go ahead and queue this in, Evo 6, since that's probably the next target. mostly for Wailing Winds, and side benefit is, and like Storm can be really handy to have too in certain cases. If we get enough Astropelagists. But yeah, Evo 6, and then after Alt 9, we kind of want to run up Blood too. There's a lot of good things, like running up Blood gives us the ability to fort up with starting to drop power or Citadels of Power. I'd really like to find a Blood site. We haven't really site searched Blood very much. That's a decision we have to make. Are we going to have a few Blood mages just commit to doing Blood Bowl? I'm going to show you guys the Blood sites. All right, so here's the mod inspector, and I've got it pulled up to show you the Blood sites. We'll zoom in a bit. Oh, when I say Blood sites, these are sites that give a Blood bonus. This one is obviously awesome. These are all, most of these are going to be pretty darn tootin' rare. This one, you need to be Blood 2 to find it, and its rarity is 2, which I think means it's rare. This one's rarity, or no, is it common, or, you know, I can never remember. Yeah, I think 2 is more rare. So Mount Chaining's pretty common, apparently. When it's only Blood 1, that's probably why it gets found so much in different games. So we probably would have found Mount Chaining already because we've site searched most of our stuff for Blood 1. We wouldn't have found this. This one we wouldn't have found. This is Astral 3. There's a reason to search for Astral 3 everywhere. I've never seen this in a game, though. All these ones with 2 are super freaking rare. But, you know, there are reasons, because they're potentially game-changing, you know, to search up to Blood 3, search up to Blood 3. The first gate's only Blood 1. The second gate, which also is reasonably common, is Blood 2. And this one, which is rare, the third gate is Blood 4. So I don't know. I think there's a reasonably compelling argument. I mean, the ones which you're going to find most of the time are these two. But there's a reasonably compelling argument. And these two are... Not only are these... Like, if we look at which ones of these are 1... Almost all of the 1 ones, except for the second gate, you can get by site searching only level 1. So if you're doing deep Blood site searching, because level 1 isn't enough, you're really aiming for one of the 2s. And it's kind of this weird thing, like if you never search for them, you're never going to find them. But God, what are the odds of having it in my game? I feel like it's less than 10%. Now, there's a chance you find some other stuff, because this is not showing all of the Blood sites. This is just showing... this is just showing the... I think I do Path Blood. Yeah, this is just showing the ones that give a Blood discount. So if we say, okay, of all the Blood Path ones, which... Like, what are the good ones, like the level 3 up ones, or 2 and up? So there's not a ton. Tower of the Deformer, alteration bonus, that would be game changing for me. But this is rare. How many of these that are not rare? There's the second gate, there's the pentagram, this one sucks, this one sucks. There's the Devil's Den, this one sucks. It's okay, you get a devil every turn. Prison of Hearts, this one's okay. Not really. You get, generates gold like a mine, but it causes unrest. It's not very good. You get the Demon Gate, which mostly sucks. Though it's going to be there anyway, causing unrest, but you can summon a Fiend of Darkness, so I guess it's okay. And then everything else here is really rare. Like the 2s are, you're basically never going to get. So, I mean, this would be a great site if we got it. Blood bonus would be a great site. Summoning Circle is great. I don't know. We'll have to decide. If we want to do it, it probably makes sense to go ahead and do it soon, but it's also potentially going to take a turn off of my timing for Wish, and so maybe we wait till after that. I don't know, guys. Ebony Tower, that would be pretty awesome. Yeah, I mean, there's some good stuff here, but the odds of you getting a single one of these twos are very low. I don't even know what they are. I'd be interested in reading more about it, but it ain't good. The odds ain't good. So, we got another fort. We're making a cultist out of this. We're going to build a temple here. We're trying to get our dominion spread. We got a guy preaching here. We got a guy preaching. We're site searching here, and then we'll be preaching in a turn or so. I probably want to fort this too. It's adjacent to Midgard, so if we go to war, this would be good early claims. I probably need to start putting an army together over here too. But that's the thing too. I think too, if I do blood searching in my land now, like I probably need those blood slaves for other things. Like if I fight the monkeys, maybe I want storm demons, or maybe I want to start forting up my land. But the forting up the land is going to be a ways away. Yeah, I'm not sure. Anyway, I've rambled on long enough, guys, but these are the things that I think about every turn. And yeah, I think that's it. So we will see you all in the next episode. Take care.